and welcome to Instance 6. I'm Sarah Flowerpot.
And I'm Mr. White. Today we're going to talk about the building project that's happening in our school. Back to you, Sarah.
Thank you, Mr. White, for that. Sophie Choi is now reporting live, interviewing the architect Robin. Sophie and her team, Mavis Tongia and Emily N, will now tell us more.
Thank you, Sarah Flowerpot and Mr. White, for that. Today, hi, it's like news that Emily Negan. And this is Sophie Choi. We are here to interview the architect. The architect is a person trained in the planning, design and oversight of the construction of the site. Over to you, Emily.
Thank you, Sophie, for that. So this is the architect, Robin. Hello, Robin. Now we're going to ask a few questions.
What do you need to do first?
Well, when you've got to see what the client wants in his building. So you ask him a whole lot of questions and you ask him how much money he's got, and then you try and work out a plan so that you can build what he can afford to build.
Thank you for that. What was the most important part?
The most important part of my job is to satisfy the client's needs so that at the end of the day the client is getting the building he wants and it's working the way he wants, and the people who use the building like the building. It's nice and sunny and things are in the right place and things are big enough, and all the people who use it are getting benefit out of that building. It's the most important thing.
About how long does it take to finish?
Oh, depends how big the job is. If it's a big job, it could take many years, but if it's a job like this, it's probably about 10 or 12 weeks. So it depends on the size of the job. If you're just having a little wee job done, it might be a couple of days, but a big job, they can take a long, long time.
How do you feel after finished designing it?
How do I feel after it? Oh, if it looks good and the people who use the building are happy, then I'm happy. If I've made a mistake, then I'm not quite so happy.
Thank you, Robbie, for answering our questions. Over to you, Sarah Flowerpot and Mr. White.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sophie. We are now going to interview the foreman, Jack. John Campbell and his group, John Key and Mitchell Pothersway, are going to take us through.
Thank you for that, Sarah Flowerpot and Mr. White. We are standing in front of the foreman's office talking to Jack.
Jack, what is a role of a foreman on a construction site?
My role is to control what happens on site so that everything gets done in an orderly fashion and that everything is built correctly. So I control what happens here on a daily basis, really, to make sure that everyone does everything right.
What have been some of the challenges of the project so far?
Probably the biggest challenge has been the electrical side of it. The school is very, very old, as you all know, and the power that's fed into the school comes from very old wiring and is very out of date. So we've had to upgrade a lot of that to bring it up to the latest specifications.
Has the recent earthquakes had much of an impact on the project?
From a time standpoint, yes. It's probably delayed the project a number of weeks simply because we've had to go away from this project and help other people who have had buildings that have been badly damaged. So we've had to go away and make them safe so that people can still stay in their buildings. So yes, we've had to slow down here a little bit.
Thank you, Jack, for taking the time to talk with us. It has been very informative.
This is John Campbell and Mitchell Pothersway signing off.
Thank you, John Campbell. Now we're going to interview one of the hard workers, the builder Nick. Elena and her friends Parish and Melanie will now tell us the role of a builder. Elena, please continue.
Thank you for that, Sarah Flowerpot. The role of a builder is very important. Builders build things like houses, business buildings, or in this case, building a classroom, making a new library, and adding more space to the office. After the builders are finished with what they have done, the customers are very happy with the project. Here we have Parish interviewing one of the builders.
Thank you, Elena. Here today we have Nick. So, Nick, how long do you think the project is going to take?
Probably about 4 weeks, I think, at this stage.
What kind of materials do you use when you build?
Well, timber, this is all H3 timber, so it's the exterior, so it can get water on it, and water won't penetrate. If it does go through the paint, it's still channelized, so it doesn't rot.
How long have you been building for?
About 24 years.
When the earthquake hit, did you think the building project collapsed?
No, we were just working just here under the scaffold, and we shot out through this gate, and we waited until the shaking stopped, and waited to let somebody know that we were allowed to come back out, so it was safe.
How do you think the project is going to turn out?
Pretty good, real good.
Thank you for taking the time answering our questions. We are now going to go back to the flower pot and lift the wire.
Man, that was noisy, but that's just what happens on a building site.
Anyway, thank you, Elena. That was very interesting. Now we're going to talk to another builder, Jeff, that Caleb will share with us, so we can see the other builders' point of views. Caleb will bring along his friend Amy and Kelly.
Thank you, Sarah Flowerpot and Mr. Y. Well, we are here with Jeff, one of the builders.
How many buildings have you done since the earthquake?
About 2 since the earthquake.
Do you like doing your job and is it fun?
It is very good. Yes, I enjoy the job, and I also enjoy seeing the finished product, which is going to be some classrooms for you guys and a new library.
Have you made other buildings at other schools?
Yes, long time ago I was at another school, yes. I did a couple of classrooms in a special needs unit, yes.
Do you like making buildings?
I do, yes. I can stand back at the end of the day and say, I built that, and be very proud of it.
Thank you for answering our questions. Back to you, Sarah Flowerpot and Mr. Y.
Hey Mr. Y, have you heard the joke about builders and light bulbs?
No, I haven't.
Well, how many builders does it take to change a light bulb?
I don't know. How many builders does it take to change a light bulb?
Well, none, because they won't get paid for it. Anyways, we are now going to interview our principal, Mr. McGregor. Jack, Philip and Ethan will now take us through.
Thank you for that, Mr. Y and Sarah Flowerpot. We are here with our principal, Mr. McGregor, to discuss his role within the building project.
So, Mr. McGregor, whose idea was it to redesign our school?
Well, it was a lot of people with a lot of different ideas all brought together. So our school had a lot of different needs that we needed to have fixed up, like a better library and office space for our RTLBs, and office space for the principal, and more space for the staff in the staff room, and extra toilets. So there were lots and lots of needs that our school had. So the Board of Trustees got together with all these ideas and formed a committee, and that's where it all came from.
Thank you for us answering our questions. We are now going to cross back to the studio.
Thank you, Jack, for that. But now we're moving on. Sid Vicious and her group, Chloe and Melody, are going to interview our old caretaker, Mr. V. Sid Vicious and her group will now tell us more. Over to you, Sid Vicious.
Thank you, Sarah Flowerpot and Mr. White. Yes, we are here with the old caretaker, Mr. V.
But now he has another important role on the Board of Trustees. He is the property manager. A property manager is an individual who has many different duties and responsibilities as part of their job. These individuals must be able to multitask efficiently and juggle in order to complete their daily duties as effectively as possible.
Thank you for that, Sid Vicious. Well, Mr. V, we do have some questions for you. So what do you like about being the Board of Trustees property manager?
It is a little bit like going to a new school, because you have to learn all different things again. Now, I got given to me when I started becoming a member a book about that thick, about all the rules that are in the school, about what's allowed and what's not. But all the decisions were made already before I became a board member, so I have to wait and see what's going to happen.
And thank you, Mr. V, for answering our questions.
It was a pleasure.
Back to you, Sarah Flowerpot and Mr. Y.
Thanks for that, said Vicious. Now for the lucky last interview, we are going to interview Mr. Barber. Daniel Frankie Etinemene will now take us through.
Thank you, Mr. Y and Sarah Flowerpot. So now we are here with Mr. Barber, the one who does the extra cleaning and extra work. And so we are going to ask a few questions.
Is it hard working on the building project?
Well, it's harder that now because I've got less time to do quality control on the savouries, because I've actually got me working, and I've had less time to do my garden here, see, which the teachers so fondly love.
Have you ever wanted to be a builder?
No, it was hard enough being an electrician, so I don't want to be a builder.
Thank you for giving your time to talk to us. This is all the time we have for today. Back to you, Sarah Flowerpot and Mr. Y.
Thank you for that. That was splendid. Right now, we're going to sign out. We have had awesome interviews, awesome reporters, but now we're coming to an end. Remember, I'm Mr. Y.
And I'm Sarah Flowerpot. We hope that you have enjoyed
Instant 6.